So for international students, what are what is the process like once they come to US? For instance, they come to US for study, and then after the study they get a job. So if they get a job, then that means like they will get the visa, or they still have to struggle a bit, or follow a certain process, or getting a job at certain level of company gives you the visa. Because some guys told me, if you get a job at big company like Facebook, Google, these sort of companies, then you will get the visa, everything is easy. But if you get a job at like a small company or a startup, then it's like different sort of process. So can you guide me more on that?
Unfortunately, the struggle never really ends. Once you graduate, you have 1 year or 3 years based on your major. If you're a STEM major, you have 3 years, you can work in the US. If you're not a STEM major, you have 1 year to work in the US, after which your company has to file for your H-1B. H-1B, again, is a lottery system. Based on statistics, for every one person that gets their H-1B, there are 9 other people that are rejected. That's how stringent the US is when they're looking for people for the H-1B visa. If you're not going down the H-1B route, there's the EB-2 visa, there's the EB-3 visa, which companies can apply for. Chances of that getting accepted are higher, but it takes a lot of while for companies to sponsor that because it takes a lot of money. Specifically today, in today's market, a lot of companies these days are trying to reserve their cash flow, and they're not sponsoring a lot of visas, just because that's the way the market is right now. So I think the first step is essentially speaking with your company to ensure that they would be applying for your H-1B. If they do not file for your H-1B, you will have to go back. Even if you lose your job, even if you are laid off within your H-1B process, you have 60 days to find employment with another employer. Otherwise, you will have to leave the country. There's so many different factors that you need to take into account, and it varies from company to company. It varies from individual to individual based on their experience and skills. Unfortunately, I can't really give you a standard answer because it's such a complex process and it's not easy. One thing that I would say is try to consult an attorney along every step of the way, because you do not want to mess up your application process. You do not want to overstay or do not want to do anything that might be against the US visa process, because when you're actually filing for your green card, there could be a lot of issues that would come up.
Okay, you're right. And that is very shocking number that, out of 10, I would say 1% get the H-1B visa. So I thought like if you go there and if you get a job, then it was very easy. Then I talked to certain guys, then they told me, it's like a different story. Previously, it was used to be like that. If you go there, you study like 5-6 years ago, or, if you go back, but now it is getting very hard. So that's why they're like, I have seen like a lot of, consultants that are, that say, okay, we will consult you, we will tell you to which specific there are like specific jobs that you apply on specific industry, then the chances of getting the visa is more. If you apply on, if you get a job from a small startup, then you might not get a visa. But as I told you previously as well, that for instance, if a person get hires in Facebook, Google, Goldman Sachs, these big companies, I don't know the internal process, maybe they apply for EB-2 or EB-3, I don't know how that goes, but then that person said your chances are way higher.
I think they do take the H-1B route as well, but a lot of specialized niche skilled people do work at those companies, so the chances of them getting their green card through that is higher. I know a lot of people who work with JP Morgan, Bain and stuff, and they went through the H-1B route, and sometimes they were picked, sometimes they weren't. So that's based on the information that I have.